Hey! Hey everyone, is everyone really hyped for the last run of UKSG Summer 2019? This is going to be Sekiro. So the first thing is the donation incentive has been met. So we're going to go Japanese. There's Japanese default or Japanese. They're the same, don't worry. We're going to go Japanese default. Okay. And the start is kind of a bit slow, so I'm just going to kick it off straight away. I don't have a start button. Or do you just count me in for you? Shall I count you in? Are you ready? Okay, let's start the final run in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Okay, right away we're going to be skipping some cutscenes, and then we're going to be going through the prologue area where we can't sprint, and anytime we can't sprint we're going to jump, because jumping is faster. So I'm going to take this time to explain basically the category. So we are running Shura ending no Airswim. So what does that mean? So Shura ending is one of the endings in the game. It's by far the fastest ending because about 70% of the way through the game we're going to get a choice, a moral choice. And it's like, do you want to keep doing the thing you were doing, or do you just want to abandon everything and do the evil thing? We're going to choose to do that. So we're going to do the evil ending. It basically immediately cuts to a final boss fight and then the game ends. And that's called the Shura ending. The other thing is no Airswim. So we're going to do plenty of glitches, but we're going to avoid doing one, which is Airswimming, which is where we swim through the air. It's a trick which completely dominates the run. If any of you have watched Distortion, you will have seen him playing that category. Oh my god, Kuro didn't turn around. That's like a 1 second pure RNG time save. Let's go. So if we do Airswimming, we literally, the whole run is just immediately go to get Airswim and then just Airswim throughout the rest of the game. So we're not going to do that, so we're going to see a bigger variety of tricks by not doing it. Slows down the run by about 3 minutes. But it's also way harder to be marathon safe doing Airswim, so that's really helpful for this setting. So we're going to be running through now, we can sprint now, picking up some ash. We need 5 ash throughout the run, so we're going to be picking up 5 fistfuls of ash. Just sprinting through the prologue here. Going to be using keyboard for this section because running in a straight line is easier if you hold W. So this probably saves, oh god damn it. This probably saves like 3 frames, maybe something like that, but it's worth it. So we're coming up to the first boss fight in the game. It's a very hard boss fight to do. As anyone who played this casually, you'll know straight away that this boss fight is basically impossible. So we're going to run right up to in here and... God damn it, okay. Alright, so obviously you're supposed to lose that. If you do actually win, then you get a slightly different cutscene, but the same thing happens. So we now have our prosthetic arm, so we can now do grappling. So all kind of our movement is now unlocked. So we'll see plenty of grappling. The grappling is camera-based, so that's how the game decides which one to go for. So I'm going to be doing a lot of camera manipulation to get it to pick the one I want, hopefully, although it is a little bit finicky. So we're going to be running straight to the first boss here, which is Chain Ogre. So Chain Ogre, we're going to fight. There is actually a way to skip Chain Ogre, but it is an unbelievably difficult trick. It was considered for a long time to be impossible, and then people figured it out that it is in fact possible humanly, but it is very, very, very hard. So people just reset. If they're going for world record, they will just reset 3 minutes into the run. Until they get it. We are obviously not going to go get it. That's a pretty sketchy grapple. Because in a marathon, we don't really stand a chance. So, we're going to do a bit of menuing, and then we're going to fight Chain Ogre. He's actually quite a scary fight. So, we're going to use a Gatchin Sugar here, which lets us kind of go mostly invisible. That's going to allow us to get a stealth death blow. This guy requires 2 hits to die. So we do that, that gets us rid of his first HP bar. Now we just need to get rid of the second one. So we're going to just take this fight really, really safe. He has 1 attack, which is way more dangerous than any of his others. So you see me just waiting there, baiting an attack. If I was going for world record, I would not do that. But it's... Okay, I messed up anyway. I said I was going to play it really safe, and then I just absolutely didn't. So now we're going to just play it really, really safe, because we're kind of low. Yeah, so the grapple attack he hit me with is by far his most dangerous attack. Because it's so fast. Okay, he's almost down. When the bar in the middle, he went for it one more time, but I was ready that time. So make sure you get the hit in the back. That's faster than hitting him in the front there. Okay, so it is a little bit sketchy that we're low on HP. There is some chance that a guy here is going to shoot us, and that would really suck. So I'm going to do some evasive maneuvers. Okay, we didn't get shot. And I never would normally do this, but we're going to get a safety idle here. So if we die, we come back here. So we're going to go through Snake's Valley now. So this part is quite, we're not going to do the intended strat, but it turns out if we do very particular movement, then this will always work. So there is a skip for this shimmy here. It's called Canyon Skip, but it's also incredibly hard and loses you like minutes if you like easily a minute if you mess it up. So we're definitely not gonna do that. Saves like 8 seconds.
I just like to nip in quickly here to give a welcome to BSG. Hello everybody.
Hello there. Welcome to Sekiro. We're going to take another safety idle here. And I'm also going to rest to get my HP back. Again, it's just super safety strats because we're in a marathon. There are things that can happen that would cause us to die that would be out of our control. It's very unlikely. Could happen. So we're coming up to our first main boss. This is Gyobu. The trick we're going to do is like part AI manipulation, part 2 very difficult jumps. I'm going to use keyboard for the second one. They're quite precise. So I will try and get it first time. It's a little bit of a time loss if I mess it up, but should be okay. I'm just going to concentrate here. That's the first jump. Mouse. Okay, we got it. Nice. This mouse is a little bit more sensitive than I'm used to, but that's fine. We can adapt. Okay. Now what we're going to do is, what we've done is we've gone outside of the arena, which has despawned the arena walls. Okay, this guy's being mean. So, okay, we need to do some, just going to concentrate here. This is not particularly good. It's not what you want to see. Okay, nice. You barely might have seen it there. We baited him to run off a cliff. I had to also evade that enemy at the same time, so you didn't see it very well. But basically, we despawned the arena walls, baited him to the edge, and that caused him to walk off, and we kill him. So immediately we've got another skip coming up here. This is bull skip to skip the bullfight. So I will try and manage with this mouse. Should be okay. I think I'm already adapting. Okay, nice. It's fine. So that was very close. This is quite a precise skip, so I don't mind taking a few tries to get this. Oh, that was so close. Done a little bit too far. Okay, I went a little bit too far right. Okay, this is fine. Like I say, this is very precise. Like, you know, at home, I have like a 50% consistency on my setup. You know, different at a marathon. Nice. Okay, we got it. So that now we're out of bounds. There's the bull that we're not going to fight. Here we go. So that's kind of the first part of the run. You saw there was 2 very difficult tricks straight away. So that's like a really reset heavy part of the run. So it's like the mistakes we did there. We got horse skip like first time on the hard jump. And a couple of tries on bull skip. It's really not a big deal. So here we're going to pick up an item. We're actually going to need some money for some spirit tags later, and we're not going to pick up any spirit tags before we need them, so we need to use that to get some money. We are going to be running straight over to Senpu Temple here. People who have played this game casually might find that a bit odd, that we would go there straight away. Casually, the only reason why you do that is to get the return ending. However, we are instead going to go there for another reason. So, if I was going for a PB, I would actually have used the Gachi Shokai and gone invisible to do a trick Which is a trick that only really saves time in game time, is how the leaderboard is done. And since we're at a marathon, which is kind of an RTA setting, it's not really worth doing. So we pull this elevator here. Now what I would do is I would now do a quit out, and when I reload back in, the elevator would already be at the bottom where I want it to be. But it doesn't really make much sense to do that in a marathon. It doesn't really save any time. And it also saves a Gacha and Sugar, which may well be useful for backup later. So we're going to use that heavy coin purse that we just picked up, so we now have 500 money. And I'll do a bit of a jump here. Oh, slightly early, that's fine. So we're now in Senpu Temple. So the reason why we're going to Senpu Temple is to pick up the Mortal Blade. And very observant viewers may be aware that we can't get the Mortal Blade yet. The game won't let us until we've been told about it, until we've killed Genichiro and Ishin has told us about it. But we have a way to get around that, as we will see in the next couple of minutes. So we are just running through now, avoiding these crickets. Sometimes they really get in your way. The enemies normally aren't very scary in this game. There is one exception, which we will see later, but most enemies are just too slow to react. So just get past them, no problem. Okay, so we're going to pick up this idol as well, because we'll need it in a little bit. And then we're going to be moving on to Monkey Skip. So this one takes a little bit of explaining. So once, so if you play the game, you'll know that the monkeys is like a hidden, like an area you have to get through Senpu to be able to access. But it turns out it's just located below Senpu Temple. So we're gonna get there, and that was that's not intentional, but really fast. Sweet. Okay, I missed the jump. Not a huge deal. Oh god. Yeah, so we've got to do a jump here to get out of bounds. It's a little bit tricky, so I messed up first time. We can't... That looks a lot better, yeah. There we go, so we're out of bounds. Fall through here, avoid some death planes, no big deal. Just keep falling for a little while. I need to look very closely so I know where I'm going. There we go, it looks good. So way down here. When I grapple to this... There we go. I'm now in the monkey's arena. So I'm going to heal up because in case the absolute worst happens, we will need that health. So this is like not a normal boss fight. Basically we have to find 4 monkeys and kill them in the back. Using our Gacha and Sugar to be stealth makes this far, far easier. There's one here. There's also an invisible one somewhere around here. There we go. So the last one is by far the sketchiest one. So fingers crossed that this works fine. He's kind of guarded, and this can go really wrong if it wants to. Okay, that looks incredibly straightforward, but all those ghost monkeys can just harass you and basically just unlock you and kill you. That was a nice monkeys. So we're gonna go get the Mortal Blade now. So because we're playing on Japanese, so thanks for donating for that, I get to make this hilarious joke. Omeo wa shinderu?
Nani?
I'm glad you appreciate that. Okay, so we're just going to be using the attack power that we got from killing those bosses, buy some spirit emblems, and then move on. Let's just do some equipping here. Equip the Mortal Blade and Ninjutsu, Puppeteer Ninjutsu. We are not going to use the Mortal Blade until the very final boss fight, but may as well equip it now. So this right here is actually very interesting. Those of you that play the game casually right now will be really confused as to why I'm doing this. So what I'm doing right now is puppeteering this guy, which allows that kite to fly out, which unlocks on the grapple point, which is only used for the return ending, which is like one of the hardest endings to get, which we are not getting. However, that area that it unlocks lets us do a very interesting trick, which is a little bit complicated to explain. So I'm going to start explaining it right now. So what we're going to do is we are going to head to a kind of a semi-secret area. Like I say, that's used for the return ending. Now, it's actually located in the Sunken Valley, which is an area I've never been to. And the thing is, we're really high up in the Sunken Valley. And the idea is if you come back to it after doing the Sunken Valley, you can kill the snake. But we haven't ever been there, so the snake won't be there. So we can't do anything. However, it turns out, if you jump down and land on a very particular pixel, the game doesn't reset you back up here. And that'll allow us to drop all the way down and go into the Sunken Valley from here. This is very precise though. So hopefully I get it first time. It's like very, very, like landing on a very particular pixel precise. Okay, yeah, we got it, nice. So I'm doing a quit out here, which deloads a death plane that's below me, so I'll be able to drop down into the Sunken Valley. So that trick there is actually my biggest contribution to the game. We did have a different way of doing this trick, but this way is faster by using that magic pixel. I found it purely by accident. I just fell down there, and it worked. So I'm just going to do some evasive maneuvers on the snake here. This hitbox on its attacks is absolutely ginormous. That was very, very close. I was actually completely terrified. So here we're going to do another interesting strategy. So if you've played other Dark Souls games, you may have realized that you can quit out to basically get rid of aggro. So they kind of fixed it in this game by making it so that when you quit out and reload, you go back to before the last time you had aggro. So what we're going to do is we're going to intentionally get aggro and then do a quit out so that we teleport back to where we want to be, because we want to get this idol and then just go back on ourselves. Oh my god, we got shot! That's really unlikely and really good. That saves like 5 seconds. So yeah, that's like 10% chance to happen. So that's really high that happened in a marathon. So hopefully the quit out worked. I'm not sure it did. It's whether the monkeys felt like continuing the aggro or not. So we will see now if it worked. It did not work, but don't worry, it's like 5 second time loss there. As long as we don't mess the back up. There we go. I didn't get to show off a kind of spooky jump where you jump down here and you're like 1 feet away from hitting the ground, but it's no big deal. So this is the moment where I need to remember to pick up an item. If I forget to pick up this item, then the run is dead. So I'm going to pick it up, don't worry. Okay, I picked up the run isn't dead, cool. Alright, so we're going to go through here, and we're going to be seeing the snake again. Again, this is another place you would never normally have to come in a casual run, but we're doing it because we can do a cheeky little skip here. We're not supposed to be able to do that, but you can. And this also takes us into the Ashina depths. So again, we've skipped having to like enter some places in the correct way. Pick up some divine confetti for boss fights later, which slightly buffs our damage. I'm going to be picking up a safety idol here because if we die to this next boss, wow, that would be really bad. I'm going to even rest, just why not? Get some HP back, could be useful. So this boss fight is actually pretty sketchy. So a lot of people like really hate this boss fight. We're going to try and do an interesting strat where we unlock on and then attack while not facing her, and you'll kind of see what happens. So here, nice. So there, by not facing the enemy, they don't block your attacks. So I guess they just don't block if you're not facing them. We're going to see that strat again in the boss fight after the next one, used a lot more strongly. But that was a really good boss fight. Glad that that has gone well. So now we're just going to do a little bit of a run to the next boss fight. There is a couple of exciting things happening. So coming up is the scariest enemy in the game. Several world record runs have been lost to this enemy. He is extremely terrifying. Most of the time he's completely fine, but let's see if he's feeling nice today. Here he is. Oh, he did the thing, but luckily we had HP, so it was fine. Yeah, so that rooster is the scariest enemy in the game. As you see, he did hit me. He can hit you off the edge as well and kill you. So we picked up some Yash Sugar there. That is a buff item we're going to use for the late game bosses. What it does is it halves our max HP, but increases our damage. Good for the final boss fights because we'll die in one hit anyway, so it saves up a good amount. So little kind of a mini skip here, a little bit finicky, got it first time, nice. And then we're going to kill this Miss Noble guy. It's totally the hardest boss fight in the game. Oh, we did it. We did it. Good job, everyone. Oh, I need that iron. Alright, so coming up is quite an interesting boss fight. I don't want to spoil the strategy because it's actually, when I first saw this, I laughed out loud at how silly of a strategy it is. I'll kind of give a little bit of away. Basically, for some reason, this next boss fight, you can aerial death blow, which is a one-hit kill. There isn't normally a way to ever do it though, but if we do something quite odd, then we will be able to do it. We're going to be using our items that we've picked up, including the ash and the snap seeds, to be able to do it. This means we get one try at this. So if we mess it up, the run is completely over. I have backup saves in case that happens, but hopefully we don't have to rip the run. So when I'm doing it, I am just going to concentrate because, like I say, if I mess it up, then technically the run is completely dead. And I also kind of let you enjoy how silly it looks. Okay, alright, it's coming up now, so I'm just going to be completely silent now.
Do you mind if I jump in with a quick donation?
Can you wait until after this boss fight?
Sure, no problem.
Nice, we got it. Cool. Yeah, so what we did there is we used a bunch of items which forced the monk to have to back up as it's slowly getting knocked back close enough to that pillar so that when we wall jump off it, we're high enough to get that death blow which insta-kills the boss. So you can read your donation now.
No worries, thank you. That was an incredibly quick boss fight. Yeah. So we do have $7 from Jack of Hearts. As promised yesterday, $1 for every time my monster fooled around instead of attacking. Had a great time at UKSG. Thanks. And also, I did want to mention an incentive that's not actually on the board. We have confirmation from Argic that he will dab at $3,000. And there's a lot of you in chat right now, so I wanted to start a train of $5 to see if we can reach 3,000 to get Argic to dab. So let's see if we can get this to happen, because I would love that to happen. As far, yeah, Argig is sat right next to me. He absolutely hates dabbing. We also popped at dab at Denton D, and Argig couldn't even look at him. He couldn't look. He had to look away just to see the dab, just to like avoid the dab. And Link Boss is dabbing behind me, and yeah, he's not a very happy boy right now. So if we can all see if we can get to 3,000 with a $5 train to make Argic dab on stream, then that would just make this marathon.
Right, so we just did a skip, no big deal. Just a little mini one. Dojo skip. We're coming up to Genichiro now. So Genichiro, we're going to use that strategy I mentioned before by not looking at him. He won't block us, but this is a lot sketchier of a fight, so I'm just going to completely concentrate on this to make sure I don't mess it up. Okay, so we got him in the right position by doing the manipulation. Oh, that's not ideal. That's fine. Okay, gotta do that twice. So because we're not looking at him, he doesn't block. Okay, so now we've actually got the actual real boss fight. So again, we really want to see his lightning attacks. But this is, I'm going to just fully concentrate. This is not easy. He's going to kill us on one hit if we ever get hit. Okay, taking it really safe here. We got a bad attack pattern. It's no big deal. Nice, we got the lightning. Nice, and we got the fight. Nice. There we go. Okay, so now we're in the final 2 sections of the game. So everything from now on is incredibly hard. So we've only got 2 things to do. We have to pick up the Lotus Flower, then come back here and do the final boss fight. So, the next part, we're going to do a huge out-of-bounds skip rather than actually fight the boss. So I'm going to be completely silent while doing it, so I'll kind of explain it. We're going to do a jump out of bounds, and then I'm just going to navigate around invisible collision. You will see some rocks. That does not represent the actual collision that we're all. I just memorized exactly where the holes are that I'll need to jump over, and other things. So the first jump is very precise, and then after that I just need to concentrate to not fall off. It's like a minute time loss plus if I fall off. Okay, we got the first part, so I'm just going to be silent. Whoa, that's really bad. Yeah, so we were slightly off on the collision there, and it gave us a forward jump rather than a jump straight up. It's just unfortunate. Should have lined up just slightly better. So unfortunately, the only way out of this is to just fall for 30 seconds until we die and then restart again. So I was really hoping that I don't mess this up, but I think at the same time, it's like, it kind of puts in perspective, this trick really is very hard. So I'm going to just take it nice and easy, nice and slow. I'm not going to rush it as much as I did before. Okay, messed up the first jump. That first jump is probably the hardest jump. So it's not particularly embarrassing to mess it up. We just have to reload our save game. Okay, slightly missed it again. So yeah, this first jump is very difficult because I need to get against the wall and then do a wall kick around it that's like basically a very optimal distance to get enough distance into the hole where the collision, the hole in the collision. This is always what happens. You get it first time, and then it takes many, many tries after that.
While we're loading back in there, I do have a $5 donation from Not Stay Hydrated Bot, which actually has a question for you there, Murtag. You see, Sekiro is one of my favourite games of all time, and watching this run is so satisfying. How would you suggest learning this run for the game?
Okay, as I very almost got at that time. So learning the run, the best thing to do is to jump onto our Discord. We have an active Sekiro Discord. Watch some runs. Figure out firstly what category you want to go for. Like here's Shura, no Airswim, which I think is a pretty reasonable choice. And then just basically just follow along with watching a good run. Concentrate. Nice. Okay. Yeah. Follow along with a good run, and then look up tutorials for each skip as you go, or see if there's an alternate for those skips. Using the Discord whenever you get stuck. Until you know all the tricks in the run, and then just grind until you get it. Okay, that's what's supposed to happen. But it's not over yet. There's like 4 more things that can kill me. I'm gonna quit out here just for like purely safety strats. Would not do this in a PB attempt, but it de-aggroes the ape. It means he can't use his projectile on me. He can just, even though I'm out of bounds, his projectile can still hit me and would instantly end the trick. Okay, cool. There we go, and that is Ape Skip. Alright, so we are ready to end the game. We've met all of the prerequisites by picking up the Shelterstone, the Mortal Blade, and the Lotus to go and get the moral decision I mentioned right at the start of the run. So we just need to get up there. So we're going to be fighting Emma and then 2 phases of Ishin. As I mentioned before, we have never upgraded our vitality. We have no skills. We have very low attack for what you should be in the run. And so if we ever get hit... Whoa, this fish is interesting. If we ever get hit, we're dead. If we ever block an attack, we're also dead, because our posture will immediately be annihilated. So I need to get perfect deflects on everything. Meanwhile, also, obviously dealing with Orbers with attacks that I can't deflect, and just getting optimal attacks in. So this is the part of the game that everyone grinds massively, and many world record runs have been lost to this fight. Even the absolute top runners die to this fight sometimes. So I will just purely be in serious time throughout the whole of this fight, and hopefully you can just enjoy it, because we've skipped a lot of fights, cheesed a lot of fights. There's no cheesing, there's no skipping. We're fighting this boss completely legit.
Mine.
There we go, and that's Emma down. So that's 1 out of 3.
Shura.
Yeah, that was actually quite a good fight as well. Just gonna be buffing up. Here we go, so this is Ishin. Okay, yeah, I just had a bit of a mind blank and immediately got hit, but it's no big deal. The first death in the game has a cutscene, but hopefully that gives you an idea of how easy it is to get hit. Phase 1 down, so 1 more phase to go. And there we go. Okay, so time is in about 20 seconds, so be ready on that. So time comes up when the credits start. So yeah, first time on Ishin, I'm happy with that. We got a death, but you know, it happens, right? We didn't actually have to go back anytime to the idol. Okay, so time coming up very shortly. I'll try to count you in, it's a bit hard to do so. So like 3, 2, 1, time. Whoa. Okay, so that is Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. Shura ending no Airswim. 33-35, I'd say that's really solid. Big time loss was obviously Ape Skip, but I think it kind of demonstrates that this, this run is not straightforward to do. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching. Big shout out to the Sekiro community. You guys are freaking awesome. Like, to give you an idea how cool they are, like, we have like an entire section that's just dedicated to helping out new runners, and people are so active and helpful in that, and the only reason why I'm this good at the game is because of those people. I also want to just give an amazing shout out to the UKSG staff and everyone that is here, because this has been an absolutely fantastic marathon, and it's been absolutely amazing to finish it off myself. So thanks so much for giving me the chance to be the final run. And yeah, and I guess the last thanks goes to all the people that have donated over $2,000, 2,170. Like I say, that is an amazing total. So thanks so much for everyone that's donated, and maybe going to win this chair. But that's all for me. Hope you enjoyed the run. And I think we're cutting over to the organisers for some final words.
All right then, so we've just seen the final run of UKSG Summer 2019, Sekiro by Murtag. Before we kick it over to Paul and Mike there, we do have a couple of donations I'd just like to quickly read out here. So we have $10 from Jai, good luck, thank you very much. We have $5 from, I want to say that's Christerius, 226 with $5, saying Pog. We have $5 from Congruence. Let's get this $5 hype trait on to 3,000. We also have another $5 donation from Anonymous, Argic Dab. We also have $5 from Karen, 173, $5 with my last 5% battery. I want to see Paul solve that Rubik's Cube. I've just did a quick refresh of that donation incentive as well, and unfortunately it has not been met. We have only hit $64 out of a total of 100, but got very close to that there. So if we're ready, we'll kick it straight over to Paul and Mike there with just some afterthoughts and announcements.